Most people believe if you didn't build wealth in your 20s or 30s, you've already missed your chance. That belief is wrong. And what's more dangerous is not that it's wrong, but that it quietly stops people from ever catching up. There's a hidden advantage that only starts showing up after 40. Almost nobody talks about it. And if you understand how to use it, you can compress decades of financial progress into a much shorter time. But first, you need to see why most people fall behind in the first place. Think about the typical financial path. In your 20s, you're learning, experimenting, making mistakes. In your 30s, you're earning more but also spending more. Responsibilities increase. Lifestyle expands. And suddenly, even with higher income, there's little left to build real wealth. Now here's the part most people ignore. After 40, something shifts. Not in the market. Not in the economy. In you. You make fewer impulsive decisions. You've seen what doesn't work. You understand risk better. And most importantly, your earning power is usually at its peak or close to it. But that advantage only works if you use a different strategy. If you keep doing what you did before, nothing changes. So here's the first quiet wealth lever. You stop trying to get rich fast and start trying to get rich efficiently. That sounds simple, but it changes everything. Instead of chasing the next hot investment, you focus on systems that produce consistent returns. Instead of spreading yourself thin, you concentrate your efforts where you already have an edge. Now pause for a second. Ask yourself this. Where do you already have an advantage that younger people don't? It could be your career, your network, your experience, your ability to spot bad deals quickly. That's not just useful. That's leverage. And leverage is how people catch up fast. But here's where most people make a mistake. They think leverage means taking bigger risks. It doesn't. It means getting more output from the same input. For example, instead of working more hours, you position yourself to earn more per hour. Instead of saving randomly, you invest with a clear structure. Let's go deeper. The second quiet wealth lever is time compression. Most financial advice is built around long timelines. Save for 30 years. Invest slowly. Wait for compounding. That works if you start early. But if you're starting later, you need a different approach. Not reckless. Just more intentional. You focus on high-impact moves. Increasing your income becomes more important than cutting small expenses. Allocating money into assets that can grow meaningfully matters more than spreading it across too many places. And here's something most people overlook. At this stage, a single smart financial move can outweigh years of small decisions. That's why catching up after 40 is not about doing more things. It's about doing fewer things that matter more. Now here's the part that might surprise you. You don't need perfect timing. You need consistency with the right strategy. Because once you align your income, your investments, and your decisions, momentum starts building faster than you expect. But there's a third lever, and this is where things really change. It's called decision clarity. When you're younger, you often act without enough information. You follow trends. You react emotionally. You chase what looks good in the moment. After 40, if you use your experience properly, you can eliminate most of those mistakes. And avoiding bad decisions is just as powerful as making good ones. Think about it. One bad investment can erase years of progress. One unnecessary expense repeated over time can slow everything down. So instead of asking what should I do to get rich, you start asking what should I avoid to stay on track. That shift alone can accelerate your progress. Now let's connect all of this. You have higher earning potential. You have more experience. You have better judgment. That combination is rare. But here's the catch. If you don't act on it, it becomes wasted potential. And this is where most people get stuck. They know they should do something different, but they don't change their approach. So nothing changes. Let's break that pattern. There are 3 moves that tie everything together. First, you align your income with opportunity. This means you don't just work for money. You position yourself where your skills are valued more. Sometimes that means negotiating better. Sometimes it means switching environments. Sometimes it means adding a skill that multiplies your value. Second, you build a focused investment strategy. Not 10 different things. Not random decisions. A clear plan that you understand. If you can't explain your investment in simple terms, you probably shouldn't be in it. Third, you protect your downside. This is where maturity becomes an advantage. You don't need to recover from big losses if you avoid them in the first place. Now here's a question that changes how you think about wealth. What if catching up is not about speed, but about direction? Because once you're moving in the right direction, even steady progress becomes powerful. And this is where the quiet part of quiet wealth comes in. You're not trying to impress anyone. You're not chasing attention. You're building something that works. Day after day. Decision after decision. And over time, the gap starts closing. Now here's something most people don't expect. The moment you start seeing results, the temptation to go back to old habits increases. You feel confident. You want faster results. You start taking unnecessary risks. That's how people lose momentum. So the real challenge is not starting. It's staying consistent when things begin to work. And this is where discipline becomes more important than motivation. Because motivation fades. Systems don't. Let's zoom in again. Imagine 2 people at 40. One keeps doing what they've always done. Small changes. No clear strategy. The other applies these levers. They focus their income. They invest with clarity. They avoid unnecessary risks. 5 years later, the difference is not small. It's massive. And it didn't come from luck. It came from using what they already had in a smarter way. Now here's the final piece. Catching up after 40 is not about competing with people who started earlier. It's about maximizing where you are right now. Because the truth is, most people never fully use their advantage at this stage. They underestimate what's possible. They think it's too late. But it's not about time past. It's about decisions made from this point forward. And when those decisions are aligned, focused, and consistent, something interesting happens. Progress stops feeling slow. It starts compounding faster than expected. Not because time changed, but because you did. And that's the quiet wealth lever. It doesn't rely on luck. It doesn't depend on trends. It's built on clarity, focus, and using your experience as an advantage. Most people never notice it. But once you do, you can't unsee it. And once you use it, catching up stops being a possibility. It becomes a process.